Network Entertainment.
Who's ready for story time?
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to you.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Czar, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening...
And you are listening...
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You were listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. This is the bonus post live stream episode, so we won't get into it too much. We'll just get to it. This is, if you didn't tune into the stream, it's me, Chino, and Emil joining you on a Thursday night. And we got a few things to talk about that we did not have time for noong live stream. First off, the Judgment Day story with R-Truth. It's still happening on Raw. And this time, they've kind of floated the idea that R-Truth is just playing dumb and playing them for fools to, make the whole faction implode. Right? So last week they jumped him, and then this week he still thinks he's part of the group or part of the group, quote unquote. He's trying to. It seems like he's trying to tear it down from the inside. And Michael Cole has, and The Miz as well has. Brought up the idea na baka sinasadya ni R-Truth to. So the question I have for you guys is, if it turns out that R-Truth isn't actually the village idiot and he's been playing all of us the entire time, does that still make him appealing to you guys? Emil, what do you think?
Hell yeah. Yes. Kasi, I actually don't like the whole dumb thing. Kasi talagang, it doesn't make sense to me that there's someone out there who's that dumb. So okay. it's like he's way too dumb to be he's way too dumb, and I'm thinking it's a reverse psychology thing. Okay,
but now it could be the reverse
because now it's thing. Really obvious. It's obvious now.
No, because they made it obvious.
So if it turns out na he's just playing them all along, that would that's smart. Kasi madaming na nagoyo to si R-Truth eh. So it actually makes him look smart, and it's a character development thing. Na if it turns out na he's just playing them all along, so I would like it. And inisip ko maybe Awesome Truth will go after the tag titles at Mania. So that's the way to do it, I guess.
Chino, as a comedian, is it still as funny kung hindi pala bobo talaga si R-Truth?
Yeah, I get where Emil was coming from. I can understand yung logic behind that. But what I don't understand is the motivation that R-Truth has to break up the Judgment Day. Like,
kasi ina-attack siya.
Gets ko yung ina-attack siya, but then he all of a sudden naging super jinx na siya bigla.
Baka may backstory siya.
Nag-plot na siya ng diba? Diba parang hindi wala yun sa history ni R-Truth eh. He was either a hip-hop wrestler or yung village idiot. Diba? That people are calling him out to be. So, the
conspiracy theorist.
Diba? Conspiracy theorist, exactly. Diba? Yung mga characters niya don't really run in the same circles as conniving villain, diba? As the guy who wants to plot Judgment Day's downfall. So if this is the route that they're going to go, I wonder what the end game would be for R-Truth. Kasi hindi naman siya sadista lang na, inupakan ako, therefore, diba? In this current day and age of wrestling, the Triple H era, feeling ko they need deeper motivations than that. And especially with the Judgment Day, which has become this dominant super group.
I can see a reason for Archer, a storyline reason for him to, finally come to his senses and start playing the Judgment Day, diba? It's I think it's one of those things that you finally bully the simple kid too much, tapos he fights back because he does feel that he's getting bullied, diba? Whether or not they go there, I think if they do, it solves my problem from before. And I bring up going, this is too weird for the Judgment Day, who's supposed to be a super serious stable, right? And having the comedic antics of R-Truth kind of undermines what you're trying to do. But if this happens, I think that'll save the whole past 3 months or past 2 months of R-Truth and the Judgment Day tolerating him. So I hope that's what happens. R-Truth can be this year's Sami Zayn for all we know.
Yeah.
Tapos sabi mo, immediately he and Miz are gonna do the WrestleMania tag team match, literally copy paste from last year.
Okay. Pero, yeah, di ba? Yeah. I'm looking forward to the end game of this. I feel like yun yung end game. So.
All right.
Mga Immortal, listen to the Underpaid Podcast with me, Stanley Chi, wherein we talk about work-related topics in a light manner na parang nagchichismisan lang tayo or nagkukwentuhan. Listen for free on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or kung saan ka man nakikinig ng podcast. Kita-kits!
Okay, next from NXT, Lola Vice nung Vengeance Day, she tried to cash in yung title shot na napanalunan niya from the Women's Breakout Tournament. So for those who aren't keeping up, the Breakout Tournament title shots are functioning now as Money in the Bank style championship matches. So that's how Obafemi won his championship, the NXT North American Championship from Dragon Lee. And for Lola Vice, she tried to cash in and did the Seth Rollins thing, except unlike Seth Rollins, she lost her shot. So the question is, was that a good move? I'll start because I have thoughts about it. I feel like Lola Vice is marketable, yes, but she wasn't like on the level of Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria, diba? So while you have like Lyra still be the champion and then Roxanne challenging for it, parang wala kang space really to picture Lola Vice as the NXT Women's Champion. Like she's not there yet, unfortunately. I don't want to drag her down, but she just isn't there yet. So it's a nice way to utilize the shot, and then it's a nice way to have her lose properly, and then not have her win a championship that she doesn't deserve just yet. So what do you guys think, Gina?
I feel like it was a waste of a rub. Said by doing that, she gets the Seth Rollins rub immediately. Diba? But I don't think it was the right way for her to do it. I feel like if they had made her sit on the title shot a little longer until after this Lyra and Roxanne and even Tatum Paxley feud wraps up, doon na siya magsa-strike and then she wins the title, it'll be a lot more believable for me, for the fans, because at least yun, she's earned her stripes by then, diba? All that waiting, tapos na niya yung feud niya with Elektra Lopez, maybe she gets into 1 or 2 more feuds down the road before she strikes and cashes in on the contract. Doon mas believable na yung character ni Lola, because she is, like you said, bro, very marketable. Diba? She has a huge social media following. She's a decorated MMA fighter or an experienced MMA fighter. So may root sila to build up on that. And then having her win the title at the right time only cements that. So I felt like it was a waste of an opportunity with the triple threat cash in.
Same, sobrang sayang. I mean, they could have hold off on her cashing in the title shot. Kasi I think it's way too early for her to be champion. So I wish they could have built her up a little bit more. You know, may ano naman ata to, may yung title shot is good for like months or even a year. So they could have waited for a little bit more. Because
I don't think they established that rule kasi. Parang recently lang nila sinabi na, okay, you can cash it in at any time, but nobody actually said na you can wait a whole year until the next breakout tournament.
Saka para like the Seth Rollins thing is in kayfabe is a high risk, high reward move. Kasi if you cash in after the match, you'll only get a 1-on-1. Pero if you do that in the middle of a match, there's a big chance that you lose kasi it's a three-way. You don't even have to be pinned to lose the match. So sayang yung title shot niya. Like that's the problem I had with it. Maybe it's a clean way. It's a way for Roxanne to lose, but still hindi parang for her to not lose cleanly. For Roxanne to not lose cleanly kasi it looks like they're gonna still have a second match at Stand and Deliver, but that was a little bit off to me. Now she in kayfabe, it doesn't make her look like smart by using that in the middle of a match.
No, it was smart. It's just that she wasn't good enough to pull it off.
She should have known. Like
believe in yourself,
yun,
diba? Wala kang believe sa sarili mo? Mas mahirap nga kung one-on-one, diba?
Alright, that's fair. But that's how I was thinking about it, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, last thing from NXT and the last bit that we have to talk about here. We didn't talk about this a lot nung picks of the week and weekend reactions kasi marami nangyari. But the Wolf Dogs, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, they won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and they get their championship match next week against the D'Angelo family. So first things first, Braun has been doing the MVP thing, which is what I wanted someone to do. I forgot who. Andrade to do. So he's scouting both offers from Raw and SmackDown from Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. And it's not made clear as to where Baron Corbin fits in all of this. Because as we all know, Corbin is already a main roster talent. Tapos, if they become, whether or not they become champs, if Braun goes up, does Corbin go up with him? Or maliliguak pa na naman siya at mawawala na naman siya sa shuffle niya? So, what do you guys think? Are they going to pull the trigger on the Wolf Dogs championship run because of these extraordinary circumstances that we could probably thank Brock for? What do you think?
I'll make a brave suggestion here, and hopefully magdilang angel ako. But I say Braun chooses neither, becomes NXT Tag Team Champion, and chooses to stay in NXT. I feel like that way you can still involve Baron Corbin because I don't think he has a place when he gets called up anyway, diba? Unless tag team niya sila, diba? Or yung another caveat here is Braun goes to the show that has Baron Corbin with him, diba? Baron Corbin was on SmackDown before he got called back.
Yeah, and we don't know where he was drafted.
Diba? So parang pwede basta wherever Baron Corbin was doon si Braun. That might be part of the contract he looks for. Either scenario I choose always involves Baron Corbin because I feel like they struck gold with the Wolf Dogs here. And it would be a shame if they just break up just because Braun Breaker gets called up.
Yun na nga medyo masayangan ako if the run ends here because they have been getting cheers from the audience. Even though they were heels, they started this tournament as heels. But as they went along, they became baby faces, or at least
they're not quite baby faces because they still attack. The guys.
They're getting over, and it's like masasayangan ako if one of the Braun goes up without Baron. So yeah, I actually like them to be caught up together. But again, you need to do the effort to explain why they're a team on the main roster because not everyone watches NXT. So kailangan to explain why they are the Wolf Dogs and why they're a team, how they became a team. So if they're gonna do that, they really have to make an effort. But I think give them a title run here. It's due. Like medyo matagal na din yung title reign ng D'Angelo family. They have been holding the tag team titles for a while now. So give them a bone and maybe think about what they are gonna do in the main roster in a couple of months.
Yeah, I agree. I do want the Wolf Dogs to continue being a thing. Now that Chino mentioned it, parang hindi nga nila kailangan mag main roster just yet because I believe the whole flirtation with the main roster call up was a last minute thing kasi hindi na pwede si Brock, diba? So you don't have to adjust long-term plans just yet. It's just a nice thing to introduce or reintroduce and familiarize yung Raw and SmackDown audience to Braun Breaker. All right, so we'll see. I guess we'll find out next week on NXT. All right, that's it for our bonus post live stream episode. So make it a quick one. We know you guys got other podcasts to listen to, but not necessarily about wrestling. So we'll leave you here and see you next week at our audio only episodes and our Thursday live stream. So for my fellow podcasts, Chino Diao, Emil Nate, Stan C, and Rowan ASH who are not with us tonight. This has been Romaran, and this has been another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. WWP out. See you later, Outcast. Peace.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.